Let me tell you something, 99% of people never reach their full potential. Not because they aren't smart, not because they lack talent, but because of one thing. They stay comfortable. Comfort is a silent killer. It feels safe, familiar, easy, but it's the reason you're stuck. You wake up, go through the same motions, do just enough to get by, and tell yourself, one day I'll change, but one day never comes. Because every time you choose what's easy over what's necessary, you're reinforcing the habit that destroys potential. Avoiding discomfort. Are you unknowingly keeping yourself trapped? Think about it. How many times have you had a goal, a dream, a plan, but instead of pushing forward, you found an excuse? I'm too tired. I don't know where to start. I'll do it later. That cycle repeats over and over until years pass and nothing changes. Here's the truth. You don't need more time, more talent, or more motivation. You need to break the habit of staying comfortable, because until you do, you'll stay exactly where you are, stuck. Two paths, two destinies. Which one are you on? Every single day you make a choice. Whether you realize it or not, you're walking down one of two paths. The path of growth or the path of regret. One leads to success, fulfillment, and a life you're proud of. The other? Frustration, disappointment, and the sinking feeling of wasted potential. And here's the harsh reality. Most people don't even realize which path they're on until it's too late. So ask yourself, which one are you on? Because the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't luck. It's not even talent. It's the small daily decisions they make. Do you hit the snooze button, or do you get up and work on your dream? Do you waste another hour scrolling, or do you invest that time into learning, improving, growing? Every action, every habit, every moment, it all adds up. You are choosing your future right now. The question is, are you choosing the right one? Have you ever noticed how some people live the same year over and over again, stuck in the same struggles, same frustrations, same regrets, year after year? Nothing changes. And do you know why? Excuses. Excuses are chains. They keep you locked in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, never breaking free. And the worst part, you don't even realize it's happening. Because excuses feel comfortable. They protect your ego. They give you an easy way out. I don't have time. I'm not ready. I'll start next week. But deep down, you know the truth? Those aren't reasons. They're just well-rehearsed lies you've told yourself so many times they feel real. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is painful, but so is regret. And if you keep choosing the comfort of excuses over the discomfort of progress, you will stay exactly where you are. So ask yourself, are your excuses really valid, or are they just familiar? Because if you don't break the excuse cycle now, another year will pass and you'll still be stuck, wondering why nothing has changed. The one habit that silently destroys your potential. What if I told you that your biggest roadblock isn't a lack of talent? It's not luck, opportunity, or even resources. No, the real killer of success is something much more subtle. Procrastination. Not the obvious kind where you waste an entire day doing nothing. No, I'm talking about the kind that's disguised as productivity, the kind that tricks you into thinking you're making progress, when in reality, you're just stalling. You say you're researching, but really you're just delaying action. You say you're waiting for the right time, but deep down, you know the time will never come. You convince yourself that you need to be more prepared, more skilled, more ready, but the truth is readiness is a myth. This is how potential gets destroyed, not with one big mistake, but with 1,000 tiny delays. So how do you break the cycle? You stop waiting. You stop hesitating. You stop giving yourself an out. The only way to move forward is to move, take action. Even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect. Because the difference between success and failure isn't talent. It's the ability to act before you feel ready. There comes a moment when everything changes. A moment when you realize that no one is coming to save you. That your excuses won't fix anything. That your past doesn't define your future, but your choices do. That's the shift. The realization that every outcome in your life, your success, your struggles, your progress, is a result of what you choose to do right now. And here's the truth. The only way to change your life is to change yourself. You have two options. Stay stuck or step up. Make excuses or make progress. It's not about knowing what to do, it's about doing it. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what's been holding you back, and more importantly, you'll know how to break free. Because your future is in your hands. And the only question is, what are you going to do with it? People love to blame bad luck. They point fingers at their circumstances, their lack of resources, or the world around them. But what if I told you the real enemy isn't out there? It's inside you, and its name is comfort. Comfort is easy, it's predictable, it's safe, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Because while success is built on progress, comfort keeps you standing still. It whispers you're fine where you are, and you believe it. Until years pass and you realize you haven't moved forward at all. Think about it. How many times have you had a goal, a dream, a vision, only to hesitate? You wanted to grow, but instead you stayed where it was safe. Why? Because growth is uncomfortable. It forces you to face failure, to embrace uncertainty, to push past limits. But here's the truth. If you don't control comfort, it will control you. And before you know it, you'll wake up one day and wonder where all your potential went. Comfort doesn't knock on your door and announce itself. It doesn't warn you that it's here to steal your ambition. No, it sneaks in. It convinces you that where you are is fine. That you'll start Monday, that you'll do it later, that there's no rush, no urgency, no real need to push forward today. Sound familiar? This is how people settle. They tell themselves they're doing okay, that their life is good enough. But good enough is one of the biggest lies you'll ever believe, because what feels good enough today will turn into regret tomorrow. Do you really want to look back years from now and realize you wasted your potential, not because you weren't capable, but because you got too comfortable? Don't let comfort disguise itself as contentment. If you're not growing, you're dying. And the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you can take control of your life. Imagine this. Every morning you drink a tiny drop of poison. Not enough to kill you instantly, not enough to even feel it at first. But day by day, it weakens you, draining your energy, numbing your drive, slowly dulling the fire inside you. That's exactly what comfort does. Success isn't stolen in one big moment. It's lost in the small daily choices to stay where it's safe. Every time you avoid discomfort, every time you choose easy over necessary, every time you delay action, you're taking another sip of poison. And here's the scariest part. You don't even realize it's happening. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next year. And before you know it, your dream, the one you were so passionate about, is gone. Not because it wasn't possible, but because you let comfort kill it. But here's the good news. You can stop right now. You can choose to push forward. You can refuse to take another sip. Because the cure to comfort isn't more time, more planning, or more thinking, it's action. So the question is, are you willing to step into discomfort? Or will you let comfort quietly steal the life you were meant to live? We all know someone like this. Maybe you are someone like this. The dreamer who always has a plan but never acts. The gym goer who keeps saying, next week I'll start for real. The entrepreneur with big ideas who never takes the first step. They talk about their goals, they get excited, they visualize success, but when it's time to actually do something, they freeze, they hesitate, they make excuses, and before they know it, years have passed and nothing has changed. That's what comfort does. It doesn't just hold you back, it steals your future. Think about it. How many brilliant ideas have never been executed because someone was waiting for the perfect time? How many bodies have stayed weak because someone kept putting off that first workout? How many dreams have died, not because they were impossible, but because someone let fear disguise itself as logic? Comfort convinces you that you have time, that you'll get to it later, that you'll be ready soon. But let me tell you something. Later is a myth. Someday is a lie. And ready is a choice. So ask yourself, how much longer are you willing to wait? Because while you sit in comfort, your future is slipping away. Comfort is a liar. It whispers, you have time. It convinces you that there's no rush, no urgency, no need to step outside what's familiar. But let me ask you, do you really have time? Because every day you stay in your comfort zone is a day lost, a day you'll never get back. And while it might not feel like you're losing anything, the truth is, inaction has a cost. A silent, creeping cost that most people don't realize until it's too late. Look around. If comfort was the answer, why are so many people still unfulfilled? Why do people who played it safe end up regretting the chances they never took? It's because comfort doesn't create happiness. It creates stagnation. It keeps you in the same patterns, doing the same things, living the same life while your dreams sit on a shelf collecting dust. And here's the harsh reality. One day you'll wake up and wish you had started sooner. So don't wait until regret finds you. Face the discomfort now, or face the consequences later. Because the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of trying inaction. Let me tell you something. You won't remember the nights you played it safe. You won't look back and be proud of the times you stayed in your comfort zone. You can learn, adapt, try again. But regret, that stays with you. Think about this. The biggest regrets aren't about what people did. They're about what they didn't do. The business they never started, the move they never made, the risks they never took. And by the time they realize it, it's too late. So ask yourself, what are you avoiding today that you'll regret tomorrow? What dream, what opportunity, what goal are you putting off because it's not the right time? Because here's the truth, there is no right time, there is only now. And if you don't take action, if you don't step forward, if you don't do the things that scare you, regret will be waiting for you in the future. Where will you be in 5 years? This is a simple question, but it might be the most important one you ever ask yourself. If you keep doing what you've always done, where will you be in 5 years? Will you be stronger, smarter, more successful? Or will you still be in the same place, wondering why nothing changed? Because here's the truth. Your future isn't waiting for you, it's forming. Right now, with every choice you make, with every action you take or don't take, growth or stagnation, success or regret, every day you are choosing one. And the best part, you have control. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to wait. You don't have to be the same person you were yesterday. Because the future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create. So the real question isn't, where will you be in 5 years? The real question is, what are you doing today to make sure it's where you want to be? Every choice you make, every single day, moves you toward one of two futures: mastery or mediocrity. There is no in between. You are either improving or staying the same. And if you're staying the same, you're falling behind. Comfort is easy. Comfort is deceptive. Comfort is dangerous. It tricks you into believing that good enough is enough, that you don't need to push yourself today, that you'll have time later. And you listen to it because it feels safe, it feels familiar. It doesn't demand anything from you. But here's what comfort doesn't tell you. It costs you everything. It costs you your potential, your growth, your ability to be more, do more, and achieve more. It steals the life you were meant to live and replaces it with a version that's just okay. Mastery isn't about talent. It's about consistency. It's about pushing through even when it's uncomfortable. It's about refusing to settle for mediocrity, no matter how easy it is to stay where you are. So ask yourself, are you moving toward mastery or are you trapped in comfort? Because the difference between success and regret isn't what you're capable of, it's what you choose to do. People avoid risk because they fear failure. They hesitate, they overthink, they wait for certainty. But let me tell you something. The real failure isn't trying and falling short. The real failure is standing still. Because when you don't try, you don't just avoid failure, you avoid progress. You avoid learning. You avoid the very experiences that could have shaped you into something greater. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, they failed. Over and over again. The difference? They kept going. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney was fired because he lacked imagination. If they had let failure stop them, their stories would have ended before they ever began. So why are you so afraid? Failure isn't a sign to quit. It's proof that you're in the game. It's proof that you're trying, learning, growing. The only way to truly fail is to let fear keep you stuck. So ask yourself, are you willing to risk failure? Or will you choose the only real failure, never trying at all? Some people don't start because they compare their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. They see the experts, the millionaires, the champions, and they feel behind before they even begin. But let me tell you the truth. Comparison is a trap. You're not in a race against anyone else. You're in a race against who you were yesterday. That's it. Think about a bodybuilder who's been training for 10 years. If you walk into the gym and expect to look like them overnight, you'll feel defeated before you even start. But what if instead you focused on being 1% better each day? Success is built step by step. No shortcuts, no skipping levels. The people you admire, they weren't born successful. They started exactly where you are, confused, uncertain, full of doubt, but they took action anyway. So stop looking sideways. Stop worrying about where someone else is in their journey. Your only job is to improve, little by little, day by day. Because at the end of the day, the only person you should be competing with is the one in the mirror. The difference between winners and the average, it's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even motivation, it's action. Winners feel fear, but they move anyway. They don't wait until they're ready, until it's convenient, until they feel like it, they act. And because they act, they grow, they improve, they win. The average person, they make excuses. They say, I'm too tired. I don't have time, I'll do it later. And they believe their own lies. But here's the truth. You can have excuses or you can have results. You can't have both. So which one are you choosing? Because at the end of the day, success isn't about who's the smartest, the strongest, or the most gifted. It's about who takes action, even when it's hard, even when they're scared, even when they don't feel like it. So ask yourself, are you making moves or are you making excuses? Because one leads to success and the other leads nowhere. And you get to decide which path you take. Comfort is like a prison with invisible bars. You think you're free because nothing is holding you back. No one is stopping you, no one is forcing you to stay where you are, but you're not moving forward, are you? That's the trap of comfort. It doesn't feel like a cage, but it keeps you stuck just the same. You wake up every day, follow the same routine, do the same things, telling yourself you'll change some, but someday never comes. Because comfort convinces you that you have time. But here's the truth. Every day you stay in comfort, you stay locked inside the same life. Nothing changes. Nothing improves, nothing grows. Because comfort doesn't just hold you back, it silently robs you of your potential. So ask yourself, are you really free? Or have you built a prison so familiar, so predictable, that you don't even see the walls anymore? Because if you want more success, more growth, more life, then you have to break out. And breaking out means discomfort. It means pushing beyond fear. It means refusing to let invisible bars keep you trapped in an average life. Your comfort zone is not your friend, it's your cage. And the only way out is action. Let me tell you a hard truth. Nothing in your life will change until you do. You can blame your circumstances, you can blame the economy, your past, your lack of resources, but at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. That's not easy to hear, but it's powerful. Because if the problem is you, then so is the solution. Think about it. Successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't sit around complaining about what they don't have. They take responsibility. They decide that no matter what happens, no matter what obstacles come their way, they will find a way. And that's what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Ownership. Because the moment you take responsibility for your life, everything changes. You stop waiting, you stop making excuses, you stop looking for someone else to fix things, and you start doing what needs to be done. So ask yourself, are you taking control of your life, or are you still waiting for someone to save you? Because here's the truth, no one is coming. It's on you. And the sooner you own that, the sooner you can finally start moving forward. Most people waste their lives waiting for the right time, waiting for motivation, waiting for some magical moment when everything feels perfect. But here's the reality, that moment doesn't exist. The most successful people in the world, they didn't wait. They didn't have perfect conditions, unlimited resources, or all the answers. They started messy. They started scared. They started before they were ready, because action creates clarity. You don't figure things out by sitting on the sidelines. You figure things out by getting in the game, making mistakes, learning, adjusting, and moving forward. But most people never get that far. They let excuses stop them before they even begin. I don't have time. Make time. I don't know how. Figure it out. What if I fail? What if you succeed? Excuses are easy. Action is hard. But only one of them gets you results. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Stop letting fear make your decisions for you. Move now, not later. Because every second you hesitate, someone else is taking action and getting the results you're still only dreaming about. Success isn't built on huge dramatic efforts. It's built in the moments when you choose to do just a little more. One more rep, one more call, one more hour of practice. That's what separates the great from the average. Not talent, not luck, just the willingness to push one more time when everyone else stops. Think about it. The athlete who wins isn't always the strongest or fastest. They're the one who pushed through fatigue, who trained when they didn't feel like it, who gave just a little extra when everyone else quit. And the same applies to you. When you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you feel like you've done enough, that's the moment that defines you. That's when you decide, do I stop here or do I push for one more? Because success isn't about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's necessary. And sometimes what's necessary is just one more. Most people think success comes from big, life-changing actions. But that's not how real transformation happens. It happens in the small choices, the little habits, the things you do every single day that seem insignificant, but over time, they change everything. Think about this. What if you improved by just 1% every day? It sounds small, right? But in a year, that's a 37x improvement, just by making tiny, consistent changes. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to make a giant leap. You just have to start. Read one page of a book, take a 10-minute walk, make one phone call. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about building momentum, because small steps taken consistently turn into big results. So stop waiting for the perfect time to make a big move. Start with something small, today, right now, because when you do, you'll look back in a year and realize those small steps were the start of something incredible. What separates the successful from everyone else? It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not even luck. It's the willingness to do what others won't. Successful people don't have more hours in the day. They don't wake up with fewer problems. They face the same fears, the same doubts, the same setbacks as you. The difference? They push through anyway. When others quit, they keep going. When others wait for the perfect time, they take action. When others make excuses, they find solutions. The truth is, they're not special. They weren't born with some magical ability that you don't have. They just made a choice to show up, work hard, and refuse to settle. So ask yourself, what's really stopping you? Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to fight for it. What if, for the next 90 days, you stopped making excuses? No more I'll start tomorrow. No more I don't feel like it. No more waiting, overthinking, or holding back. What if instead of delaying, you committed fully, completely, with no turning back? Imagine what could happen in 90 days if you gave it everything. If you showed up every day no matter what. If you stopped looking for shortcuts and just did the work. Because here's the truth. 90 days can change your life. Think about it. If you started 3 months ago, where would you be right now? Stronger, smarter, closer to your goals? Now ask yourself, where do you want to be 3 months from now? Because the time is going to pass anyway. The only question is, are you going to use it or are you going to waste it? This is the moment. Right here, right now. Because success isn't something you stumble into, it's something you decide. So ask yourself, are you willing to do what it takes? Not just when it's easy, not just when you feel motivated, but every single day, no matter what. Are you willing to show up when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when nothing seems to be working? Because that's what it takes. Not talent, not luck, just relentless, unstoppable effort. Most people won't do it. They'll talk about it, they'll dream about it, but when it's time to act, they'll hesitate. But you have a choice right now. Stay the same or step up. Stay comfortable or commit fully. Stay stuck or start moving. So decide, not tomorrow, not later, right now. Because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to go all in. Right now, in this very moment, you are at a crossroads. One path leads to comfort, the easy road, the familiar routine, the excuses that keep you exactly where you are. The other leads to growth, the one filled with challenges, discomfort, and uncertainty. And the truth, most people will choose comfort, not because they don't want success, but because success demands something from them. It demands discipline, it demands resilience. It demands effort long before the rewards ever show up. But here's the question. Which path will you choose? Because this moment, right now, is a decision. Not just a vague idea, not just something to think about, a real decision that will shape your future. Will you keep choosing comfort even though it's held you back? Or will you step into discomfort knowing that's where growth happens? Because here's the reality. Your life is built on choices. Small ones, big ones, daily ones. And in the end, those choices will either create a life of progress or a life of regret. So what will it be? The comfort of staying the same or the challenge of becoming more? The choice is yours. and you have to make it right now. Let me tell you something. Success is not given, it is earned. It is fought for. It is claimed by those who refuse to stay stuck. Too many people wait for permission. They wait for an opportunity, for someone to open a door, for the universe to hand them what they want. But that's not how success works. No one is coming to save you. If you want more, you have to go out and take it. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness. They weren't handed a free pass. They struggled. They sacrificed. They put in work when no one was watching. They paid the price for success long before they ever saw the reward. So the question is, are you willing to do the same? Because success doesn't care how badly you want it. It doesn't care about your potential. It only responds to one thing: effort. You have to earn it with discipline, with action, with relentless commitment to your goals. So stop waiting, stop hoping, start working. Because success belongs to those who have the courage to chase it and the grit to never stop until they get there. Are you ready to break free? Not just talk about it, not just dream about it, but actually do it? Because up until now you've been standing at the edge, thinking about change, considering growth, wondering if you have what it takes. But thinking isn't enough. Wondering isn't enough. At some point you have to decide, am I going to stay stuck or am I going to step forward? No more waiting, no more excuses, no more repeating the same patterns that have held you back for so long. It's time. Time to break free from comfort. Time to stop letting fear control your choices. Time to stop being a prisoner in a life that is less than what you're capable of. Because here's the truth. You were meant for more. You weren't designed to play small, to sit on the sidelines, to wake up years from now wondering, what if? But the only way to become who you're meant to be is to start now, not later, now. So ask yourself, are you ready to break free? Because the door is open, but you have to be the one to walk through it. This is your moment, right here, right now. What will you do with it? Because everything you've heard today means nothing if you don't take action. Knowledge without action is useless. So don't just listen to these words, live them. Decide right now that you are done waiting, that you are done letting fear win, that you are done sitting on the sidelines while life passes you by. Because nothing changes until you do. This is it, your last challenge. Commit to change, fully, completely. Don't turning back. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until you feel ready. Decide right now that you will do what it takes, no matter what. Because if you do, your life will never be the same again. So the only question left is, are you in?